This song's called Balloons, and my name's Andrew Cole.
Friends are like balloons I tie around my heart so I can fly. Oh, where things are clear and I can see for miles above the clouds. Sometimes the wind unties the strings and leaves me falling, falling. Without a single word, you can lift me high. Friends like balloons, I tie around my heart so I can fly. Whoa. So I can fly. In red, in green, in blue, in every color made for me and you. Whoa. Sometimes you get so close, I can feel you breathing, breathing. Without a single word, you can lift me high. Friends like balloons, I tie around my heart so I can fly. Whoa. We can go higher, higher than we know. Taking me higher, higher than we touch the sun. So I can fly. So I can fly. So I can fly. Friends like balloons, I tie around my heart so I can fly.
Glenn Morrison. My name's Andrew Cole. Good night.
Welcome to the Sparkle Show. With us, we have Andrew. Andrew, what have you been up to?
I've been not really rapping Christmas for us. I've been writing songs and doing all sorts of things, trying to prepare for a Christmas show that we're doing on Wednesday.
Oh my gosh, that is so exciting. Okay, so is this going to be a virtual show or?
Yeah, well, it's a virtual show, and I hurt I had a bit of an injury, so I couldn't play my guitar. So my friend that I'm staying with is going to play the grand piano. He's got a grand piano there, so it's just
I'm
me
going to be watching.
It's just me.
That's awesome. What are you doing? Do you have any shows after that? Do you have a New Year's show or just Christmas?
Yeah, I'm just gonna play 2 Christmas songs because I love Christmas songs and I never get a chance to do that. So
What's your favorite Christmas song?
I like "Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas." I'm gonna try and pretend I'm Frank Sinatra for the night for 2 songs.
Oh my God, that's awesome. And
Drink
Buble
some
is really
eggnog.
awesome too. Are you a little Buble-ish or not really?
Yeah, say that a bit again. I missed you.
Michael Bublé, do you have a little bit of that sound?
Oh yeah, love a bit of Bublé. I love him. I think he's cool. I'm very nostalgic. Sorry, I look like an absolute lunatic as well today because I've been in the studio. I haven't had a shave, and my hair's like crazy.
I love that, honestly. This is like a real musician in your like creative zone. I'm glad you're taking a break to talk to me. I really appreciate that, by the way.
No, thank you for having me. It's amazing. No, it's going to be good to get in the Christmas cheer and just kind of like, very nostalgic. I like the old songs and some new Christmas songs, but I don't think there's enough people sort of writing new Christmas songs. I think Christmas songs are cool. They can be good.
Are you writing any new Christmas songs or just singing the classics?
No, it's such a feat to me. It's something that it's took me years. Every year I kind of scribble down notes and stuff, but it's kind of a hard thing to do, actually, to write a Christmas song, to write a good one.
I believe it, and to get it like into where it's in our actual Christmas playlist. I like how you're like trying and then you want to get it perfect before.
Yeah.
So what's your typical go-to music that you like? Who do you think you sound like?
I like, I've always liked, when I was a kid, well, not a kid, but like I grew up to listening to like early Coldplay music and stuff, and kind of soft kind of, I like Lewis Capaldi, and I like ballads, and I love like Adele and stuff, and I love like soppy songs, I'm a bit of hopeless romantic, so I like those kind of songs.
I love that.
I like singing in the car. I like, freaking people out at traffic lights when they look over and you're singing full volume, and then you're kind of like, oh no,
I love that. Oh my god! I would stare at you and be like, I would be in awe. I'd be like, wow.
Yeah, I love catching other people sing in the car as well. When they're singing at the top of their lungs and they stop at a traffic light and they look over like they're embarrassed, and I always wind down the window and be like, that was amazing, you should keep singing, because everyone should be singing. Even if you're not a singer, you should always sing. It's healthy.
You would make a horrible judge on American Idol. I'm just saying.
I know. Everyone would win.
What do you think you sound like? Like, who do you think that your voice sounds like?
I'm from like, my accent's like from the north of England, right? So people say I sound like Bono mixed with Coldplay mixed with Neil Diamond. I've heard Neil Diamond, which is a strange one, but I love Neil Diamond as well, so I'll take it. But I don't know. I have a weird voice. I have a very low voice, and then I sing very high, like falsetto, so it's a bit strange. Most of my favorite singers are female, so I'm always trying to sing really high.
Who are some of the performers you've opened for? Because I know you've opened for some good people.
I've opened for Tom Jones, which was cool. I've opened for Elton John. I've opened for Metallica, which was very strange.
That is all over the place.
Not like that at all. I've opened for Lord, which was good. I've opened for a lot of different people. Singer-songwriter types. There's a lot of tours that I did just with my guitar on my own, and you leave the band at home and you just kind of show up with the spotlight and you're just like on your own on stage, and I think that's cool because that's always fun to kind of be naked on stage.
What was it like opening for Elton John? I actually interviewed him a long time ago, years and years ago. I interviewed him for a print journal when I was doing print journalism, and he was amazing. What was it like opening for him? He's
amazing. It's very daunting at the start, and then you kind of think, you're constantly enthralled, but also nervous because you did the emotions set in of how have I had this liberty to do this to this kind of like god of songwriting, but it was amazing because at the end of my show, the tour manager let me stand on stage behind him. I was just, funny enough, last couple of days I was backing up my phone and I was going through old photos and videos, and there's a video of me kind of just creeping behind the back of his piano and just kind of watching his back. And then
are you serious? And you have that? That's so funny.
Yeah. And
the audience see that, or was that like one of those behind the scene things?
No, I was filming it, and then the tour manager was filming me, and
so nobody saw like the audience that you were like being the creeper back there.
Yeah, you could see the audience. He said, if you want to stand by the curtain and just watch, that's fine, but don't get in the shot because they're filming it and stuff, and the backdrop, you'll ruin it. And apparently I just kept hearing him shouting at me, because every 5 minutes I would, by accident, just be getting closer and closer to the back of Elton. And you can see it in the video, and it's like I'm almost sitting next to him at one point, you know, because it's just.
I love that. Oh, he must have been so mad at you.
It's like a magnet. Yeah, it was like a magnet. I just wanted to sit there and just watch him play his piano, and like, you know, it was so exciting. I wanted to sing with him or something. It was really weird.
Good going, Andrew. You photobombed Elton John.
Yeah, it was good. And I got to meet him as well, and I famously ruined that as well because I was so nervous. He was sitting down and I was stood up, and he put his hand out like this. I don't know why. I don't know if he was going to shake my hand or if it was like a queen, you know, like hold the hand or kiss the ring or whatever. And I apparently shook his little finger. I don't know why, but I grabbed his little finger and I just shook it, and I went, "Nice to meet you."
Oh,
and I'll never forget his face. You know, he was so confused. His face was complete confusion. Like, what just happened to me? This is the weirdest. But I didn't know what to do. I didn't know.
Andrew, you're too funny.
Was I supposed to kiss his hand? I don't know. It's kind of a fear of mine now that I can't get over. It completely ruined the conversation, and then he didn't really want to talk.
I love that story. Do you have any more stories like that?
Oh, there's tons of stuff that's happened to me.
I'm sorry, this is taking over the talent part right now. Comedy Hour with Andrew.
No, I'm just I think I'm just very awkward when I get nervous. You know, I do some very strange things, so I don't get it.
Tell me another story. Okay, so you opened for Lord, you opened for Metallica. Metallica, what was did they actually like you? Their fans?
Yeah, well, the Metallica story. This was in Quebec, in Canada, and you know, it was very nervous. I couldn't afford to fly my full band over there, so I just decided stupidly to just do it with my guitar player with no drum kit or anything. And
your music's already different than that.
Very light, very soft, very, you know, like there's not really any songs in my music that's hard. And I just remember doing the sound check, and even at sound check there was about 6,000 people kind of just walking about, you know. And I remember the singer came out of his dressing room and he was like, "Say goodbye to your career, kid," you know. And I was like, oh shit, because I was singing ballads. I was singing like love songs, you know. And
they didn't throw tomatoes at you?
No. And then so when I went on stage, I mean, he was just joking, like he's a nice guy. They were really nice, but I was really nervous trying to practice my songs 20 minutes before I went on stage. And they apparently famously, they play their whole show before they play their whole show, like in their trailer with like a full PA, like full volume.
Dedicated. That's dedication.
So I was sitting in my trailer, and it was the first time I'd ever had a trailer, so I was really excited. And I couldn't even hear my acoustic guitar because trailer next to me was Metallica, full volume, rehearsing the show that they were going to then go on and play, you know. And I remember going on stage, and there was 200,000 black t-shirts. You know, it was like absolutely insane. But it went down good. Everyone, I kind of apologized to the audience.
So they liked it. They were expecting Metallica, but they liked you as an opener, though.
It was good. Totally no, it was good. It was like having Johnny Cash, like a bit heavier or melodramatic. A melodramatic Johnny Cash kind of feel.
You know? I love that. I love that they liked you because you're really good. I just was thinking that's such a different type of music.
I think good music. I mean, all good music's good, right? I mean, you know, Joe Satriani was on the bill. John Fogerty was on the bill. It was just.
Was it a festival?
Yeah, the Metallica show was.
That makes sense. I thought you were like
only four. But it was only four of us, so it was technically, we all started, like the show started at 6 p.m, so it wasn't like a big festival all through the day. And it was the point in my career where I was fighting with my agent saying, you know, how come you don't give me any big shows? Like, I want to be like a big star or whatever. And he was
That's why he threw you in there.
Yeah, and he kind of did that on purpose because
you never you got what you asked for, didn't you?
Yeah, he put me after like Fogerty and stuff, which was not smart. And so he was kind of like, if you mess this one up, you know, there's your answer. And if you do all right, like, I'm going to put you in a big fish tank here and see what happens, see if he drowned.
So you did good.
So yeah, I think it did all right. It's on YouTube. You know, I think I did all right. I mean, I wish I'd have took my drummer. It was a bit light. It was a bit, but we played like Eleanor Rigby and stuff. We threw in a Beatles tune just to try and like appease them a bit more. But it was good. And then at the end of that, you know, we got to watch Metallica, where it just felt like the earth was, the thunder of the heavens was shining down. So it was like, okay, you know, that was the weirdest gig I've ever played. Definitely the strangest show. But there's been lots of different shows that have been magical and strange. And I've never been on tour. I've never been on a long tour like most people do. You know, they think of a tour where you get in a tour bus with with your band, and then you go across America for like 15, 20 dates or whatever. I've never done that. I've always done these kind of big, weird shows that are just like 3 of them, and then that's the end.
That's kind of cooler, actually. I think
mad.
that's a little bit cooler.
It's a bit mad, you know. Normally I just jump in the helicopter and then, you know, no, I'm kidding. It's been a weird career. And now because of what's going on, you know, I kind of sad, hoping that we'll be able to do it again, you know, one day.
Where do you live now?
I'm in a little tree house. I'm in a doll's house in Malibu in California. I call it the doll's house. It's like a little wooden house where I got evicted from my old place when COVID started. And a friend of mine had this tree house thing. I'm looking at it now, like this kind of thing. You know, this tiny, I mean, I'm talking 6 feet. It's got to be, well, it's not 6 feet. It's got to be 11 feet by 8 feet wide, you know, this tree house. And it was in a right state. And I went to Home Depot and got some paint and some shelves and some wood and a saw and a hammer and some nails and stuff, and just kind of created this little thing. Like, it's right on the ocean, you know. So it's
I was wondering geographically where you live, and I'm so glad I got to see the dollhouse, and I like that you left the dolls in there. I'm
a bit of a child, I think. I've got all these toys and stuff.
How do you like the California weather? It's a lot different than
it's good. I'm spoiled now, so I got used to it. So I'm spoiled, and like everyone calls me a baby because I'm by the beach at night. I'm like, oh, I'm cold, and everyone's like, you can't be cold. What about the people in New York? And what about your friends in England? And you're supposed to be tougher than that. And how can you be cold in California? You know. So yeah, it's nice today though. It feels like it's 70 degrees today. It doesn't make any sense. Global warming's gone mental. It's just, yesterday it was freezing. Last night I went for a little walk, a hike, and it was absolutely spectacular. I felt like I was in Hawaii. But I'm on my own, like I'm completely isolated on my own. So it's like finding things to do to not go crazy at the same time. It's a kind of it's a scale. It's a sliding scale.
You're in your creative space though. You're constantly creating.
I know, but the problem is I can't even fit my studio in yet. And if you bring a guitar in, you kind of like break the neck off it because you can't. The ceilings are only like 8 feet tall. So it's cool when you're in your bed. Like I'm sitting on my bed right now in like it's like a bunker almost.
This isn't a song in and of itself. You're in a dollhouse in Malibu during COVID.
It's definitely a good story. I mean, you know, one of my dear friends, Lena, took me in during COVID, and she lived in like, I guess it's like Bel Air, in this massive mansion. Like, and I lived there for 3 months, like Fresh Prince of Bel Air style, which I've never done in my life because I don't come from that kind of world. And that was amazing. So I've gone from, you know, Will Smith land to, I don't know where I am. I'm in a shoebox now. It's brilliant. So the you know, the level of Bel Air monstrosity to beach house with no surfboard, because I'd kill myself in 5 seconds and there's no way I'm getting in that water.
Andrew, how long have you been performing?
I've been performing illegally since I was 8, because you couldn't get into pubs when you were 8. So my parents would sneak me into venues. And then when I was old enough, like 15.
So people were actually watching, adults wanted to see you play when you were 8. Like you were that good. You were vocally
Well, I wasn't good. I don't think I was good, but I liked the center of attention. I would dance for people and try and pretend I was Michael Jackson in the 80s, you know, because I loved all that. But then when I started playing guitar, I would pretend, I would try and grow. It's funny because I always shave, and today I look like, you know, a caveman, but I had this tiny little stubble, and I would try my best to grow a beard and dress up like I was 18, and I would go to bars and they'd pay me £90 to play 2 hours of cover songs. And I was only like 15, 16. And I would, you know, essentially take my PA and play for all these drunk people in the local
That
work
had to
and
be
clubs.
something.
It was great. And that's how I learned how to sing, and I learned what people like and what people don't like. Because in England, if they don't like it, they tell you, you know, they're not very nice when they don't like something. It's not like in Canada where they're like, oh, that was great, you know, just don't come back again. In England, they're kind of like, they just don't clap if they don't like it and stuff. And you can get, you know, my first gig, I remember driving home crying, phoning my dad going, you know, she offered me £30. She said, listen, play one more song and then pack your stuff up and go home because you're terrible. And I remember that, and that was good. That changed my life. I practiced a lot more after that because I didn't really know how to play the guitar properly. I just, you know, wanted to be on stage.
When did you start hearing that you were really good?
I don't know. I've always tried to be, you know, I'm always on a constant fight with myself. I'm in a battle of my own brain. But, you know, you hear nice compliments online or from other artists and stuff, and that's sweet. But I've always been a late bloomer, I think. It took me forever to be able to write a good song and be able to. It's not like when I was 15, I was writing good songs. I wrote a lot of terrible songs for a long time. I didn't understand how to write songs. So, yeah, I think, you know, only for the last 10 years, I think, would I, you know, happily listen to any of the stuff I created.
You're proud of it, and now you're like, yeah, you've
Some of
got
it, yeah. I think my first album was cute, I guess. You know, it's not the easiest thing to listen to. I'm very hard on myself, I think.
How many albums do you have out, Andrew?
Well, I've got two. Well, there's two really, but there's really one major one in 2010, and then I went on like a 10-year not hiatus. Well, I was just releasing singles and stuff. You know, the world changed, and then I've threatened. Definitely next year, I'm going to release an album of like everything I released over the last 10 years, and then there's like 6 new songs. I was a bit weird. I was just kind of like creating material in the studio and somewhat nervously not wanting to put everything out because of the atmosphere of the music industry, which is really stupid actually. Because then you've got fans that, you know, they don't care. They just want to hear your music. They're not going to judge you. They want material. And so you're putting out singles every now and then. I mean, I'm going to put a single out on Christmas Day, and I haven't told anyone. I'm just like, you know, it's just going to put it on iTunes, this song called Balloons, you know. It's like, there's a song that you can have kind of thing, because it's got to get out. Because if it gets too old in my head, I'll never release it, because it'll just be, it's like, you know, when I always reminds me of like a kid. If you're a young girl and you draw something on a piece of paper or crayons or whatever, and you give it to your mum and dad and they put it on the fridge or whatever they do, and that's cute, and then a month later you don't like it anymore because you think you can do better, or it's old or something, and then that piece of art kind of goes in a box somewhere maybe. And for me, I think art is kind of like depictions of time, and that's the amazing thing about photographs or music recordings. It's the same as a photograph, and I think you should really just have the bravery to just throw everything out and just give it to the people, you know. And I'm a hypocrite with that, so that's my New Year's resolution, is like, whatever I create, as long as it's not diabolically rubbish.
Andrew, we're gonna follow you everywhere now. We're gonna be on top of it. Yeah. The moment you release it and then you regret releasing it, we're gonna be on top of it.
Yeah.
Are you heavy on social media?
Yeah, well, I just got hacked. My Instagram got taken down, which was fabulous right before a release. So I kind of had a bit of a, you know, I was having kittens, as they say in England, for about 2 days, and I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? I've got no Instagram now. The world is over. you know, and everyone was like, it's an app, like it's Instagram, chill out, Batman. And I was like, okay. And I was really affected by it, to be honest. I felt like it was the end of the world. And my friends and like Eileen and like smart people were like, dude, it's Instagram, just build a new account. So I was like, okay, so I've done that now. So I think I've got like 60 followers on it. So it's great.
So what are you, Andrew Cole? Andrew Cole what?
I changed it to I am Andrew Cole because I thought it was funny.
We're gonna follow you on your new account. We're gonna make sure you get more than 60 by the time this is over.
No, it's good. But it's really good because the first 60 or whatever it is, I think I'm up to 71 now, so I'm quite pleased with myself. I think the thing is, there's so much engagement now because they're like the coolest people ever. So, you know, they're like, it's like a big magnifying glass of who cares, you know, and who doesn't. I think when you got Instagram and you got loads of followers, and you got like, I don't know, 50,000 followers or something, maybe 20,000 of those people liked your page 10 years ago, and they're not really paying attention anymore. So it's nice. I like talking to friends. I don't call them fans. These are my friends, you know. I like talking to people. I like commenting. I'm a bit slow with it because I'm like rubbish on social media, but I do comment and I do reply to messages, and I think it's great, especially during this time when you're completely isolated. And my fans have always been really good to me and like helping me out. Like they're like a gang of shrinks or something, like psychologists and stuff. And it's
Andrew,
great.
Before I let you go, I'm wondering, who growing up were you a fan of that you were surprised to find out was a fan of yours?
Say that bit again. That I was a fan of.
That you found out later was a fan of yours now. Like, who were you in awe that you were like, wow, this person is a fan of me now?
Probably Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, I love him. Oh my God, I used to go and listen to him at the piano bars.
Yeah, he got me up one night. A friend of mine, she was an actress in that movie Black Swan, and she took me out one night, and she said, I played your album to a friend of mine, and he wants you to play and sing with him tonight, you know.
Who? Which actress? Natalie Portman?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. No, who was it?
That was Black Swan, yeah.
Was it White? Yeah, I think so. No, it wasn't her. The other actress. See, that's terrible now. Now I sound like a horrible person. Oh no, it was Carrie Lee Riggins, I think was her name.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, see, I sound like an awful person now because she changed my life in a way because she gave me that introduction, and he was the first guy on the Bully song, which was really cool because that was a good thing. But
did you guys collab?
Well, he apparently he heard my album, and I was like, I don't know who you're talking about. Is that the guy out of Jurassic Park? I love him. You know, he's like amazing. Like, it's one of my favorite movies. And it was, it was very new to LA. I hadn't been here before, so I didn't understand how it worked with all these crazy, shindigs surrounded with. And we went, and there was, so many cool people in the audience. I mean, DiCaprio and Kathy Griffin and all these people. And I was like, as a kid from where I come from, I felt like I was in a movie itself. And he just said, he didn't even ask me, and he just said, please welcome Andrew Cole. We're going to sing some Beatles songs, jazz style. I've never played jazz in my life. And so I sat next to him on the piano, and we sang a couple of Beatles tunes, and it was amazing. It was such a sweet guy, and so talented on the piano. And yeah, that's my little thing. I don't think anyone else likes music. I'd love other people to like. I mean, I did play a house party once, and Bono's manager put Bono on FaceTime, and I sang a U2 song to him.
I love it. That is,
which was cool.
Andrew, when you're done, you should be writing a book of all this stuff, or a blog. You should start a blog of all this. You're awesome.
Oh, thanks. No, it's fun. It's fun. It's been good. It's been a wild roller coaster journey.
Andrew, thank you so much for coming on my show.
Thanks for having me. I'm sorry I talk so much. I realized you haven't talked so much. You have a nice accent.
Oh, you're awesome. You're perfect. Thanks, Andrew.
Thank you. Okay, bye.
And if I said you really knew me well, what would your answer be? If you were here today, ooh, heart. If you were here today, here today. As for me, I still remember how it was before. But I am holding back the tears no more. No, no, no. I love you. What about the time we met? Well, I suppose that you could say that we're playing hard to get. What about the time we cried? Oh, see, you were smiling. What about the night we cried? 'Cause there wasn't a minute left to keep it all inside. Didn't understand a thing, but you were always there with a smile. And if I say I really loved you, well, would you answer me? And you were here today. Ooh, and you were in my song. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And thanks to these beautiful girls on the strings.